Renovation of the Heart is a pretty good film. I'll be honest, not a lot happens. There is not much to the narrative, but the characters are really likable and the house itself is a really nice setting. So I found it to be a very, very pleasant, very easy watch. I think it won't be for everybody. It might not have been for me if I was in the mood for quite a detailed narrative or one with a compelling story. But because I was in the mood for this, for something easy and pleasant to watch, it worked really well for me. This was released in 2019. It's directed and written by Sandra L. Martin, and it stars Louise Dillon as Anne and Sean Wing as Dan. And Anne and Dan are having to sell the house that Anne's mother left her because we learn at the beginning of the film they are broke. They have absolutely no money left, and the only thing they have to sell is Anne's house. Well, the house that her parents left her. And needless to say, the film is all about renovating the house, but also Anne and Dan reconnecting as a couple and ultimately what's going to happen to the house, to their financial situation, to their relationship. There are a lot of things up in the air, and I don't want to say too much about what happens because, well, mostly because, as I said, there isn't very much to the narrative, so I don't want to give away what we do actually have. But I found it to be a really lovely journey. I do tend to like films that are based on home renovations or DIY. I find them to be a really interesting topic. I know a lot of people are interested in home renovations and things. But as I said, if you are looking for a narrative that's really fascinating with some twists and turns and characters brought in every now and then, there's not really much of that. We don't have too many other characters involved. We do have Dan's parents, Diane and Frank, played by Dee Wallace and Gary Neal Johnson. I think they brought something really great to this and helped to keep things a little bit more interesting. They didn't always have the same opinions as Anne and Dan, and that meant that we were being asked to question things in ways that we perhaps wouldn't have done if they weren't in it. We do get a couple of other characters here and there, but nobody who sticks around for too long. The renovation aspect, I really enjoyed. We do get a really good sense of the house, a really nice sense of the space, and I really enjoyed that part of the film. And of course, I was curious to find out what would happen at the end with the house, with Anne and Dan's relationship. So I won't say any more about that, but I definitely recommend the film if you're in the mood for something that's a very easy watch. It's pleasant, it's straightforward, it's really enjoyable. If you're in the mood for something a little bit more complex with more characters, this isn't going to be that film. But if you want something easy and enjoyable, and indeed something that focuses on home renovations, then Renovation of the Heart is definitely worth watching. It's also known by the title It's a Fixer-Upper. I think I prefer Renovation of the Heart, but I'm not that bothered. I certainly enjoyed it, and if you're in the mood for this kind of film, then I'd say it's definitely worth checking out.